Excuse me? Hello. Good, and you? Yeah. How long is it? Only 10 minutes. Sometimes the screen goes off. It's supposed to save the battery. I don't know if it's working or not. Yeah.
Lowest there.
Thank you.
Loud. Very loud. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I ask everyone who has a cell phone, put it on quiet, vibrate. Thank you. If you have any phone calls, please take them outside in the hallway. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. It's May 9th, 2016. I'd like to call the meeting for Aire Conutry Club number 2 to order. And Secretary, may I have the roll call, please?
Jerry Messina.
Here.
Jack McCandless.
Here.
Erwin Salby.
Yeah.
Marie Barnes. Here. Joe Iglesias.
Yeah.
Gino Colarossi. Absent. Joe O'Neill. Peter Kretz. Charlie Kreckman.
We have a quorum. Thank you. We have several guests here this evening. We have our legal counsel, Tamar and Larry Shendell,
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
and we have our stenographer, Lisa Scheib, taking the minutes. And last but not least, we have Andrea Northrup, our representative from IOA, Insurance of America, along with
Lois Fair.
Lois Bear, who is,
She's my right hand. She's the one who gets everything done in the office.
okay, so we're going to rearrange our agenda tonight. So we're going to start off with Andrea Northrup, give us some insurance updates, policies, and legal challenges to the company. Please.
For those of you who haven't met me, I know a lot of you we've met over the years. I'm Andrea Northrup with Insurance Office of America. We have been representing Aire 2 for a number of years now. We've had the opportunity to write all of your lines of coverage going back, I think, as early as December of 2008 or so. Jack was one of the first few we worked with, Bert and Lenore. I wanted to take the opportunity to be here to address any concerns of the board they may have with regards to insurance, challenges, information that's being put out there with regards to what kind of coverage is in place, is not in place, and how things are being covered moving forward. Just to clarify a lot of things that are in the air with regards to the insurance for the association. Depending upon how the board would like for me to proceed and to address, I don't know. Legal counsel has anything specific you want me to address first and kind of move forward from there?
Maybe you can start with an explanation to all the board members as to what has transpired with the coverage and the binding and so on and so forth. That would clear things up.
Sure, absolutely. Well, there's two separate sets of policies. We have one set of policies that came up in December that all renewed. That was the general liability, the directors and officers policy, the crime policy, and the umbrella policy. All of that was renewed through Insurance Office of America last year, remains in effect for 12 months. So those are all still policies that we take care of. The property policies came up for renewal in March. Obviously, a lot going on in between. We have attempted to secure the property policy based upon the information that we obtained. We actually went out to market early this year. If you can imagine, as we've done for the last couple of years, 2 years ago, you guys paid about $495,000 in premium. Last year, we brought that down to $426,000, even though we increased the amount of insurance you were buying by over 20%. This year, in advance of the election and anything that happened, we secured another quote that was just above $300,000 with your carrier that you had previously. That was locked into place before any changes of insurance, anybody tried to change insurance agents, before anybody else got involved. That was done by Insurance Office of America. A lot of that was done by Lois Berger, which is excellent negotiation skills. So we wanted to clear that up, that we actually brought the insurance down about $120,000 expiring from last year. What transpired between then, and I think there's some other number that's out there as far as what the property policy renewed. What I can speak to specifically is that when we renewed it, we were honest with the other carriers as far as what other quotes were out there, and we were ethical and did what we were allowed to do as far as commissions were concerned, and we were not allowed to give anything up according to our agreements with these carriers. For the insurance, that property policy, there is another person out there who has been attempting to control that policy that was voted on to remain in place with Insurance Office of America. That's caused some confusion and some problems with the carrier because we both submitted bind orders to make sure that there was coverage in place, that there was always coverage in place, and that the association would never be without coverage. And that's obviously our primary concern for you, is to make sure that you all continue to have your property coverage moving forward. It's very difficult, as you can imagine, for us to service your property account with this confusion going on between the carriers, to release the policy properly to us so that we can service it on your behalf. And this is something that we're addressing with the board and with legal counsel, because there's been another person brought in who is being said that he represents Palmair too. So there's some back and forth that's very unusual and very difficult for us to properly take care of you. In addition, we've maintained those other policies that you have, your directors and officers policy, your general liability policy. Those are policies that aren't taken away halfway through. That other person on behalf of Palmair has gone in and tried to take control of those policies in addition halfway through the term. So we have worked tediously and for many, many hours to make sure that we're able to service the accounts as we wrote them, as we continue to make sure that the coverage is put into place. I do know that there was some information that was passed out stating that we were not doing our duty as far as what was supposed to be reported, what was being acknowledged as far as coverage is concerned. We have plenty of evidence to the contrary. We actually have the letter from their legal counsel advising everything was done the way that it was supposed to be done. We abided by our fiduciary duty. When we've been asked to do something for the insurance, it's been taken care of in a proper way. We have also notice that was received back in November when this claim was reported, that it was actually received by the other party, went directly to his email, that he received acknowledgement of it, and a corrected letter that went out after some people improperly contacted the other carrier, trying to muddy the waters would be the best term. Let's see if we've got some other information here that we can attempt to take care of for you. The property policy, as best we know, remains in effect. We have never attempted to stop coverage for you. We've never tried to remove that coverage. We would never let you lapse that coverage. Obviously, that's a very important coverage. If there's been terms that have been used that are misunderstanding, we always welcome people to contact us so we can answer any questions with regards to that coverage. Through great help of legal counsel, we have made sure that the numerous lawsuits that are going back and forth are not being confused, that the 5 directors that were sued, to make sure that their coverage letters have come in, to make sure that counsel is being appointed and making sure correct counsel is being appointed, and to make sure that all of it is thoroughly available for people to understand. Other issues that we can address for you? I know that there's some change up in the way that things are going to be going as far as management is concerned. So one of the insurances that we're looking to add to the coverage is going to be professional liability policy, which is something that is very common anytime you have a management company who comes in and they take over. That's going to be coverage policy that's going to be added to benefit both of the association and the management company. And that would be something that we'll be working on in the near future to secure with the board and Mr. Martin. I don't know, Tamara and Larry, if there's something more specific we can get into or address?
No, I have a full understanding of everything that's transpired, so I don't know if the board members knew all of this was happening, or any questions?
That would be regarding indemnification, right? A protection policy, property management.
Right, so it's a liability policy that protects. Correct, and that's going to be what's going to go into place, and we work specifically with those individual carriers to make sure that that's going to be taken care of. It really, ultimately, at the end of the day, there are only a handful of carriers, and all these carriers are offering the same things. And so it's all a matter of who's gonna be servicing them. Nobody is coming in with any sort of magic bullet that's usurping everything else. It's something that we have worked very hard over the years to make sure that we, when we can, brought the property premiums down as much as possible. And there have been years when we couldn't, when the market got hard and it went up and we had to pay a little bit more in those years. But we, again and again, are always going to make sure that we've done everything that we can. When this was presented, when there was confusion, and one of the things we came forward to the property carrier in the very beginning and said was, if you can't figure out yet who's going to be in charge, and multiple people are saying it, we said, okay, take both, do it under both, and once the court makes up its mind, let the court decide who's going to be in charge and release that information from there. So I think that's one of the things that we're working really hard is to make sure all the carriers also know the status legally and coverage determination was.
Any questions from the board? None?
No, we had her for a number of years, and I think she does a good job.
And I will add that she has been working a lot of hours because we talk after hours and on weekends and whatnot, so she's working very hard on your behalf. I just wanted to give kudos.
Thank you. Same to you, because you guys are on the other end, it's at o'clock at night too, so we're both there.
Questions from the audience?
Yes.
Excuse me, you have to state your name.
Audrey Smith. I've lived here for 10 years. We're all hardworking people. I figured out in maintenance and what I paid for my condo, there's $200,000. Times change, people change.
Is this related to the insurance? Your question? Comments?
Am I on a witness stand right now?
No, if
I want to finish my text.
we're,
I just want to stay on.
We're staying on the agenda, so comments are limited to the agenda item we just discussed, because otherwise we won't get to the business at hand. So do you have a question about the insurance specifically?